Her smile wavers a bit, and she says, "Yes, yes, there is."
Who's the author of the book?
Frederick Krugor.
Knew it from the minute you said a friend interested in it.
I knew the moment you said how to be a dream warrior.
Because Dream Warriors is the best Freddy movie that's not the first Freddy movie.
By far.
Okay.
That may be New Nightmare.
And, like, New Nightmare is such a weird duck, though. It's like the Shin Godzilla of Freddy Krueger movies.
Such a weird duck. Yep.
I'll explain the rules of the Dream Warrior book later, but you now have an item get.
Okay, stuffing that. What other
and
books?
what about the Ulster or werewolf berserker armor?
Oh, wow! This is marvelous! Where did you get it?
We got it from
Crazy Wizard
a
House.
hobo shack on a hermit's shack on the edge of Stoker.
Oh,
We also
is that old Herbert's shack?
what used to be
Was.
his.
Did he pass away?
His own creation turned against him.
Are you a friend of his?
Friend would be a very loose term, although he had a really sweet kid.
I could kind of step aside so that you can see Buddy.
Oh my god! And she's
Jesus.
like waving her hands and like just absolutely ecstatic as she sees Buddy. I didn't recognize you in that armor! And she immediately hops over the counter and rushes up to Buddy. She's like, "Oh my god, you've grown so big!"
Does Buddy recognize her?
Buddy looks at her and like for a minute, like you can see like just his brain trying to process, and then like a spark of recognition comes in. She's like, "Come on, give me a hug," and Buddy opens his arms and he gives her a hug. Oh my god, you've grown so big! Oh, but how are you here, you silly goose? Your territory's all the way on the west side, on the east side.
We rejiggered him, basically.
She looks at you all and she's like, "Care to explain that in a way that makes sense?"
I hit him with
Long
a
story
stick.
short.
I
Now
repeat
she-
my earlier request.
We rewrote. It was pretty simple. We rewrote the magic binding him to Herbert and by extent his territory, and him with them towards Aerie. She's his boss. She's his master now.
I'm his mama now.
Her
There's
smile
no
fades
master
and
here.
She grows very serious. She's like, "Are you exploiting this poor boy?"
No
No.
way.
We're trying to give him a happy life.
You should see his drawings. His color balance is really coming together.
He likes red.
Wait, wasn't Herbert exploiting this poor boy?
Yes, well, I couldn't touch Herbert, but I can. I'd like to see these drawings. And she goes back to her shipping.
I just the finished sentences, but I can touch you. Nope.
I like how she considered it, then she realized.
That is a poorly worded sentence.
It was a moment of passion.
That's okay, dear. I also have such a time.
I pull out one of the couple of the drawings that I have in my pack and show her. Including the one of the full party.
Oh my god.
She looks at Buddy and she's like, "And you drew all of these?" And Buddy nods. She's like, "Oh, they're very good. You
Aren't
have
they,
such
though?
a great grasp of color theory." You know, Herbert never really gave him much to do outside of, the business.
Yeah.
You are taking good care of him.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
Yes.
I gave him dolls.
Such a sad boy. Such horrible things happen to him. He really deserves a break.
I guess.
That's another question. we kind of wanted to ask, do you see this other curio shop across the street from you? Can you see that?
Do you point out the window?
Yes.
Like, do you point it out?
Yes.
I do.
She looks at it, her eyes go wide, and, like, again, she gets that serious face opposed to the very forced smile, and she's like, yes. I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
That's
Why?
Buddy told us not to, so we came in here to ask about that.
Someone bad is
We're adventurers. Telling us that's basically telling us go ahead in.
How bad of bad?
How bad of a dude?
Are we talking the worst? Or...
I'm probably overstepping my bounds even by saying that. It makes me sound like I'm judging somebody who I really shouldn't be judging. Anyways, I'm a shopkeep. What would you like to buy?
Information.
Also, the wolf berserker armor thing.
Oh yes, I can definitely pay for this. Let's see. I am gonna need to make something of a profit, but here, I'll give you 18,000 GP. Is that fine?
Damn.
Damn. Fine with us.
All right, excellent. And then she quickly like she's about to hand you like a sack, and then she's like, oh wait, and she hops over her counter and then like fills up the sack with gold and hands it to you, and then quickly scrawls out a price tag for the bearskin and puts it on her coat rack.
Also, you seem to have an in-depth knowledge of these tomes. And Lelia pulls out the Necronomicon thing she got from Herbert's shack. What can you tell us of this?
Okay, I can tell you a lot about that once I flip to the page that describes it correctly.
Should we show her out of character? Do you think it's a good idea to show her like the other artifacts we've collected?
That's what Howard wants to do. Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
She seems to be the kind of person who does know this shit.
Also, there's another book that you two have that she could probably look at.
Yeah.
She looks at him. She's like, see, this is what we call a treacherous grimoire. It's designed to look like a book of magical knowledge, maybe like a sorcerer's guidebook for those seeking power. But it's actually a bit of a nasty trick. See, when you actually read it, it basically drives you nuts and makes you non-functional, let's say. It's basically designed to punish those who seek to steal the power of the sorcerer whose house they found it in, basically. One last fuck you to the person who got one over on them.
Oh, thank God we didn't read that one then.
And also this, kind of to pull out the book of Perilous Journeys and toss it onto the desk. That's where we got the egg. That's where we got the egg.
That is a fun one.
We noticed the T-Rex-sized ducks were not. The T-Rex ducks only killed us.
This book, very hard to craft magic item. You actually have to get someone to bless. Oh shit! What's it called? It's not paper. It's for
Parchment.
Parchment. Is that right? Who gives a shit? You basically get a priest of Primus to bless it. And then you have to write in ink using the blood of the rarest creature you can find a story of different encounters of creatures. The more rare the blood, the more encounters you can have and more creatures per encounter, and the more rare those creatures can be, and sometimes even completely made up. And the interesting thing is, once a person reads the book, not only are they compelled to read the whole thing, but they will encounter these creatures, thereby making those creatures real, even if they didn't exist before or are extinct.
Wait.
Yeah, that seems...
Well,
Yeah,
that explains.
Very interesting.
Well, that explains the giant T-Rex-sized ducks.
Yes, I mean, you could create any single living thing you could imagine and bring it to life by writing it in this book, so long as you had rare enough animal blood and an imagination.
Lelia looks to Tig.
AR kind of just looks at the book like she just stumbled upon a gold mine.
You wanted some.
There's one added qualm though. You need the right quill. Sadly, the only place I can think of that has the quill to go with the book is not a place that's easy to go to.
What
that
sort of
place would
place?
Well, there's a town in the west called Ambrosio,
Oh.
and they've been having some troubles.
What sort of troubles?
Well, I would really love to tell you, but
I kind of drift my hand towards my machine.
my hands are tied on that bit of information.
Yeah, no.
How would you like to take this book of treachery off our hands, then?
Sure. I actually have a few things I'd like you to.
Sorry.
You'd like me to?
Check out. Well, we found this in Makin. He shows her the Planeteer.
Volunteer.
The plant.
Heart.
She picks it up, and you notice that when she picks it up, she does not seem to be reacting to its weight. Like she picks it up as easily as you would like a golf ball, but this thing is like the size and weight of a bowling ball. Yep, this is a communication device between wizards. And it is connected to some people that I think you would rather not talk to.
Who? So I'm just going to use that intimidate check right now.
Why?
Okay. All right.
Telling us everything.
You're hiding something. Spell.
Yes, I am.
Look, ma'am. Our job here is simple. We come to this island to determine what the hell is going on with each one of these towns and go back. Then the more that you bring this up, and the more that you hinder us, the more painful this is going to be for the entire island. Considering the last time we ended up burning Mach into the ground. Another ground. Believe me, I honestly think that prolonging this is not exactly in your favor.
A lot of things haven't been in my favor lately. But I am bound by certain oaths and can only share what I am allowed to share. And there are some things I have to keep secret for my own safety, so I am willing to help you as much as I am able, but I have my limitations.
Considering that not even gods are willing to divulge certain information, I don't think even she won't be able to help us in some places.
Everybody needs their secrets.
Well, in any case, is it harmful for us to carry that item around? Is it possible those on the other side of it are spying on us because we have it or something?
Well, there's good news and bad news. Sort of like it's a two-way device. You actually have to activate it for anyone else to sort of realize that you're using it. So really no one can be spying on you with it yet. But as soon as you use it, you're making it an open window, sort of two-way. Right now it's closed, it's locked. And everyone's going to assume it's closed and locked until you open that door. Does that make sense? Or is that metaphor hard to follow?
No, I think
followed
I've
it.
learned about opening doors.
Yeah. I bet you have.
Well, then, I don't believe there's any reason for us to keep it on our hands. Would you be willing to take it from us?
Yes. What would you like for it?
Guess it's not really a useful trinket for you to sell, so...
No, it really isn't. I'd have to break it down into its raw parts, and that might cost me more than what I actually get for it.
Maybe we should keep it in case we ever figure out who's on the other side. We can possibly use it to our tactical advantage.
I wouldn't mess with the person on the other side. That might be a bad idea.
So far it seems like we might be going that way anyways.
Oh, you poor souls. You're gonna need all the help you can get.
We kicked the shit out of Rubicon earlier.
Well, I guess, Tig, if you want to keep it, are you willing to it?
Sure.
All right, then it's yours.
Hmm.
Did you say Rubicante?
Yep.
Larry, eye instinctively twitches.
Oh, you have got to tell me this story.
I bid him.
Ugh.
I
look.
bet you did not enjoy that.
I look at believe the look on his face when we charged in with six Dullahans was priceless.
Oh my god!
And we didn't even use the door. It's fun. It's fun to the things you can do with a little stone shape, including ripping open a temple like a bag of chips.
He's also down like 75 followers, and I don't think they're coming back.
Oh man, they are gonna give him so much shit for that. Oh.
Actually, I have one other item I wish for you to check out.
Oh, no problem.
He shows her the Circle of Thorns amulet he got from Uderson.
Also, the wand. That one also might need to be checked out as well.
The wand?
Yeah.
Crazy wand that ate AR's arm.
Oh,
She looks at the Circle of Thorns amulet. She says, "This is an amulet from a group of religious fanatics with horrific views who should be shunned and purged."
Oh, we've been doing that actually.
Good.
Is it an evil item of the sort?
It's sort of like your Palantir, even more limited. It's being used to communicate between the High Priests. One has to be a High Priest to communicate with it, though.
Does it have to be a high priest in general, or just one of Henran?
You know, that's a good question. Let me check these runes out a bit more carefully. I think if you found a priest of significant strength, they could probably jimmy this open for you. You could lay a trap for those Thornites.
Huh.
I just start grinning like an absolute maniac.
So, and this is why we keep dodgy communication devices, so we can screw people over.
Okay, I guess I'll hold on to it.
I gotta take a high five.
Low five.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Well,
You are very knowledgeable about all of this stuff.
I've been around.
I have two things that you can look at, but they're not really exciting, I don't think.
Well, you have that
Also,
wand, right?
Yeah, we have the hand.
I'm using Mage Hand to pick it up and and kind of show it to her. When I touched it, it rotted the flesh off my hand.
She picks it up and she looks at it.
Why me?
Because you touch
I think
things.
AR needs a big.
Because you're mortal.
Boo.
What?
What?
And you're not?
I said something out loud, didn't I?
Did.
Little bit.
Yep.
Yes, it sounds like it.
Yep.
Anyway, this wand is really interesting. Let me tell you about it. Oh shit, I can't. I'm sorry. Let me see what I can. She's waving the wand as she thinks, which is kind of dangerous. She's like, this comes from part of a creature that no one has seen for a long time.
What
Does it begin with a
sort?
D?
No. In fact, it's a creature none of you would have ever seen in any book. Um, known only to a very select few.
And this
F?
creature is.
Does it start with F?
And I can't tell you what it is because of a sacred oath.
Can you tell us what it isn't?
It is not the sort of creature that is normal or natural. It is not the sort of creature that you would find a population of. It is what you might call a single specimen.
Here, I remember Tarask?
It is something similar to a Tarask.
Think back to my dream. Is it reptilian in any way?
No,
Oh,
When did you get this again, AR?
it has no bones. Oh, I can say that. It has no bones.
Humanoid. Does it look humanoid?
Oh, God, no.
Is it
Also,
round?
to answer Howard's question, I got off the Amazing Crop.
It is round in some ways and not in others.
Does it have tentacles?
No. Definitely those.
Does it have a constant shape?
Yes. In fact, it has a very simple shape. One might even say a primordial shape.
Is it poor? Is it like amorphous?
No.
That would mean it didn't have a shape.
That would mean it would be shapeless, yes.
Is it connected to this island in particular?
Oh, it's a conquering worm, isn't it?
Anyways, here you go. Very nice wand.
Well, that's something.
Oh, what about all that slip up about, mortal and everything? Gonna explain anything there?
Nope, I don't want to.
Want or can't?
Can't say I can't.
At your privacy.
So do I need?
I'm not.
Lily is just gonna roll the diplomacy check.
I'm gonna roll another intimidate check.
Your first one didn't work. Why is this one gonna work?
that was pretty damn high.
Ooh.
And that was before you learned she was immortal.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is roll a nat 20 to get your score higher.
So it was a really high intimidate check and it did nothing.
But by diplomacy, I mean hidden diplomacy. Hidden diplomacy. Because why use the lower stat, right?
Unless she's a god and thus has a special ability. Hidden diplomacy doesn't work.
Not necessarily, considering she's mortal. And I remember in the
Well,
dream.
hidden diplomacy uses intimidate, right? So it wouldn't need to be specifically anti-hidden diplomacy. It has to be anti-intimidate.
So it would have to be a paladin.
Or something similar.
And she does not seem like a paladin.
No, she does
Oh.
not.
I was kind of saying in the dream she was kind of wishing to be in hell, if you remember. She may not be. She may have been once mortal, but was cursed with immortality.
She might be a blackguard.
And considering her origin, Faust, and all that, suspicious.
What do you say with your hidden diplomacy?
We would very much like to know. We're trying to get down to the bottom of this. We're on a mission from the gods, so if this is crossing a boundary between another god, simply say so, and that'll be it.
Many of the things I cannot say because they would be crossing a very powerful god. Or minions of a very powerful god.
Ascended, or primal.
Oh, I think she would take issue if I was more
She?
clear than I'm being.
Yes.
Yes.
It is now.
Oh, there's plenty of female transformative gods.
The gods
Yes,
can
but
be
the
whatever
only
they
one-
want.
As for the
Yeah.
things I won't say, that's more of a matter of self-preservation. Well, I suppose both of these are technically, in a way, a matter of self-preservation, but that's a different sort. It's not so much a I will be directly punished sort of self-preservation as it is I'll make you into an enemy sort of self-preservation, I think.
That is fair.
See.
I have two things to look at, but they're not really exciting.
That's fine. I've got lots of things people don't think are exciting here. You see that hook? That hook has a lot of history.
Okay,
Did it come from a pirate?
No. It's been in a couple, though.
First off, I show
Ooh.
her that gold encrusted human skull I picked up somewhere.
Oh yeah, that solid gold skull we got.
Well, it's not solid gold; it's like encrusted.
I remember. I'm the one who got it for you.
She looks at the gold encrusted skull and she's like, it seems like someone has very tacky tastes and very little respect for the dead.
Yep.
But there's at least like 5 GP worth of gold on here. Maybe more.
So, 2 gold pieces and 5 silver, basically.
You know what? You could probably sell this to the Count, and he would love it. It is exactly his taste.
Oh, it is it?
Interesting.
Ah, yes.
about-
Speaking of the counts, perhaps yes, we should start asking you about what the goings on of this town. What do you know anything with this plague and everything?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm not really banned from saying this, but it is sort of another god's business. So, this is a judgment call. First of all, the plague is definitely supernatural. It's kind of a double-edged sword for like everyone involved. There's like, oh geez, I don't know if I should explain this.
We're trying to solve the plague to try to
I would
cure
really
it.
be mucking in a god's business is the thing, and they don't really like it when my kind of people do that. So I
We're
guess
not. We're not.
if you can
we're
promise
not-
to keep like an open mind about how you handle this, I could give you a really juicy tidbit.
We're
We're
listening.
all for it.
Okay, so what nobody involved understands is that the plague is actually a corrupted psychopomp. Um, it's a cursed psychopomp to be exact. You know how people can bind demons?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out they can do that to all the different outsiders. Elementals, celestials, archons, angels, and psychopomps.
Proteans?
But yeah, sure. So someone bound a psychopomp to direct it. Normally, psychopomps they're neutral. They do as death commands, and they ferry souls to the land of the dead. Someone wanted that power to be directed, and they corrupted one particular psychopomp. They bound it to basically be angry. But the thing is, when an outsider is bound, they really don't like it. It makes their lives way more complicated. It causes distance between them and their creator and their owner, and also like it causes sometimes like really confusing feelings that they don't know how to adjust to, and like a whole new perspective that maybe they aren't psychologically ready for. But the point is, they tend to lash out when they are bound. Um, and when this psychopomp was first bound many centuries ago, the person who found it did not realize that it would eventually strike back at them. Neither have the people who have summoned it since. And that's what some dumb idiot in this town did. They summoned it. And what they don't realize is that at midnight tonight, it's going to take everyone in this town, including them. At midnight.
Hey.
So I just did acknowledge the plane check to see what kind of psychopomp could do this.
Was that a nat 20 or a modified 20?
Modified 20.
Well, the most powerful psychopomp you can think of would be a Grim Reaper.
Those count as psychopomps?
Yeah, psychopomp is a general term for anything that handles death.
Hmm.
So Grim Reapers, Shinigami, all the outsiders that are associated with the force of death.
Huh. I sworn there's actually a group of outsiders that are specifically called psychopomps in Pathfinder.
Yes.
In that case,
and Grim Reapers are a type of them.
In that case, our benefactor might be very interested in this whole ordeal.
Definitely.
She cocks her head. What benefactor?
How do you think I...
Oh, we don't want to slip up a god's...
Sorry, we're under oath.
Oh, I
Are
understand.
Are we, though?
Not really, we can tell her, but
No.
we're not gonna.
No.
It's called... I was being
So-
coy, you imbecile.
Any idea who the idiot in this town that brought the psychopomp?
Well, I know
Yes.
for a fact he's a worshiper of a person I shouldn't cross, so I can't say, but I can say this. It shouldn't be hard to suss out his identity.
Is it the
Yes.
Well, he has no respect for the
Like
dead,
what
and he's a
person
noble,
makes
so I'm
sense
guessing.
in this town?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that you were all talking at once.
It's the Duke, isn't it?
Count.
Probably someone who wants the town to prosper.
All right. So looks like, all right, fellas. Looks like we got another ass. His teeth got to kick in.
Well, gang,
Clarify,
it looks like. Well, gang, it looks like we got another mystery on our hands.
Indeed. You know, the thing I don't get, though, is if he's a count, and yet this whole island is overseen by a baron, why does he outrank the count?
Howard asking the hard questions.
Well, I think it's probably because the Count isn't a very good ruler. And historically, his family hasn't been.
Okay, before I leave,
Name
I've been
them,
carrying
Abiel.
this around for quite a while. And I finally show somebody that stupid goddamn rabbit's foot you gave me.
She looks at it. This came from a white rabbit.
Does
A
it
white
do
rabbit.
anything?
Yes.
Curious, sir.
And
Curious,
do
sir,
you-
and
do you-
curious, sir.
do you mind if I cut it open for you?
Go for it.
She cuts it open, and she takes out from inside of it 2 pills. Yep, I thought so. Now, 1 pill makes you larger, and 1 pill makes you small.
Oh. That works for me.
Which one's which?
That's the trick. I can't tell. They're identical.
What a
Also, how much would you how much would you be willing to buy the treacherous book off our hands?
Oh yeah, certainly. I know a couple of people I'd like to give this to.
How much are you willing to pot with it? I mean, give it.
Oh, let's see. Well, I don't have a price listed in here for it, so I don't know. What would you like? What would you like?
Considering what you gave for the armor, maybe 15,000 GP.
Let's say 10,000.
Fair for me.
There you go. Oh, I'm gonna get him back. Is what I'm gonna do. She puts it on the shelf.
Lots of initiative. I like it.
Well,
Dig.
if you're sure you don't want to buy anything, thank you for stopping in. This was a lovely conversation we had.
Yeah, Lily is just gonna look around first to see what else. Does
Yeah.
anything
Yeah,
make
same.
perception?
Okay, perception checks. Everything in this room looks evil as shit. Like, there's a wrought iron skull-shaped lantern. There's probably the creepiest doll you ever seen. There's a cup inscribed with runes in infernal language.
Since Lily can read that, what does it say?
It says "Goblet of Forbidden Knowledge."
Quick question: is there anything in the store that will not bestow upon you an ironic punishment based on your own personal vices?
Oh yes, quite a few things won't, and then there's also a few things that will. Actually, quite a few things will too. You guys see, if you remember that you have that monster almanac, there's like 7 more volumes of it here.
Ooh.
Ooh, transformation ideas.
There's a lantern that glows with a sort of a pale blue light that has a wolf sort of stenciled into the glass. Let me look at some other weird fucking shit to put in here. Remember that horrifying altar in Hermit's shop? There's like 3 more of those in varying sizes. There's a staff made out of someone's spinal column. Just everything here looks like at the very least it could probably give you tetanus.
So no holy artifacts or anything like that?
Nothing that you would call holy, unless the god you worship is malevolent.
Like Shidison.
How much for that monster almanac?
Which volume?
Do we have any volumes currently?
Volume 4 is particularly rare. They only did 1 printing.
Which volume do we have?
I don't know. Check out your monster almanac.
I'm the only one that has it, so I check it.
I think that was volume 1.
Ironically enough, it is volume 1.
So how much for the rest then?
Most of the almanacs are priced at 4,000 GP. Volume 4, however, is 12,000 GP because it is incredibly rare.
Perhaps we should pull our cash and see probably prove useful.
Definitely.
At the very least, I might be able to turn into some of these things.
Definitely.
So there's 7 of them there, and there's 6 of us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, since we already have volume 1, so each of us buys 1 volume then.
Someone's got to pony up for the 12,000 GP volume, but sure.
Yeah,
Probably
alright.
the person who has 500,000 GP.
That's fair. And if you guys all agree to that, then item get. You guys have the complete Monster Almanac set.
Okay,
So-
How much should we pay then?
How should we split them all?
4,000 from each of us, and 12,000 from the person with 500,000 GP.
Okay.
1,000? Okay.
So how many volumes in total were there?
7. We
Oh,
had the
okay.
first volume, so
Oh, now I only have one volume of these. I am gonna have to ask some friends. It's much easier to sell the whole set.
Tig is going to speak up and go, oh, do you have any books on magic or a book of spells or anything like that?
Oh, do I? Yes, I do.
Oh,
But you're gonna have to be way more specific, my man. Look at this library. She does have quite a few books of spells.
sorry. I was just asking because every place I've been before now has just said no, fuck off.
Well, that's because most merchants haven't seen the world as much as I have.
I don't know. What's the cheapest you got for now?
The cheapest I have. She looks at her books of spells. Let me see if I can actually find a really nice one for you. Oh, I'll just have to make one up and get stats for it later. Here we go. Yes, this is Verminus's Book of Nasty Curses. It's 1,000 GP.
Just 1,000 was it?
Just 1,000.
Oh, what all curses does it entail?
Oh, turning people into rats, newts, swarms of cockroaches, festering boils upon the genitals, sweltering boils upon the genitals, genitals upon the genitals.
It doesn't sound like a curse.
genitals on the boils.
Toenail molting. That sounds gross. Pus sores. Well, that's just sort of basic. Here's a nice one. It turns their eyes into mouths.
Tig will pony up 1,000.
So can Tig turn those into fucking potions now?
He could.
It's gonna take a couple of checks to make that work, but yeah, sure.
I can basically learn any. It's just mage spells, but I can then turn them into extracts or potions and whatnot.
Nice, excellent. We'll work out that a list of spells to put into that book, and away we'll go.
Hang on. By contrast, what's the most expensive spell book you got?
I keep that in the back row.
I'm guessing that's not for sale for most people.
Well, it's really more about keeping it out of the wrong hands. It's Lord Phalix's grimoire. It's the book of spells by a sorcerer who became a very powerful lich. It includes some truly nightmarish things.
Damn, you could have named it the Bone Tome.
You know, that's the problem. You get all your creativity after you finish the book.
So what? Is it like X'd out and it says Bone Tome?
Besides that, the Bone Tome is already copyrighted. I actually have it right here. It's a book about skeleton dance moves.
Oh my god.
Yes, I have heard of this Lord Phalix.
Yeah, you definitely would, wouldn't you? Kind of elbow on the ribs.
He's a very charming fellow once you get past the horrible bloodshed he's left in his wake. Makes a great cup of tea despite not having taste buds.
Yes, he does like being hosted. I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, you know all about that, wouldn't you, my
Would you
lord?
happen to know of a vampire named Vani by chance?
She thinks back. Yes. Tried to squeeze my boob.
Well, he won't be doing that no more.
I can't
Well,
remember.
I like female dialogue.
Little Miss Sunshine over here cut him in half.
Is that how it did?
Props! She holds up a high five for Lelia.
Lelia obliges.
Lelia, make what should this check be?
Don't touch the immortal.
I guess
Yeah.
I guess a perception check would suffice.
Okay then.
Okay. There's a brief vibration of energy when you two touch hands. That both of you notice, like almost like a static shock, though not as unpleasant. You also get a brief sensation, like fleeting to the point where you almost wonder if it's delusion, that her hand isn't actually made of smooth skin.
Can I do a muscle or check?
Yeah.
So knowledge planes on. Oh shit, that's an at 20.
Of course it is.
Damn it, Kay.
Well, of course,
Sounds about right.
this is something you know of. You definitely know what it's like when a person's trying to hide the fact that they've got a little demon in them.
Ah.
That's like the worst version of you got a little captain in you.
Yeah, instead of getting drunk and being a pirate, you talk about shit all the time, and you try to convince people to sleep with each other's wives. I was trying to make a devil as an ass joke there, and I just failed utterly.
Right, first of all, Lily's just gonna cast Detect Alignment, Detect Evil.
Okay. Evil radiates from almost every single thing she is selling in this shop.
But her?
First of all. From her... So, it's been a while since we detected alignment of a person, which is weird, because normally people who have that spell spam it all the fucking time. So a reminder of how this works. Like, I don't like to make it as
I keep
simple as
forgetting
this
I have
person's
it.
good or evil. So, like... Let's imagine a wall. And let's imagine that wall used to be painted a bright, vivid red. And then someone took a hammer and broke the wall into pieces. And they took the largest piece and they painted it over with gray. But they did a kind of a shitty job, and some of the red still filters in, but it mixes with gray. And in this case, red is the raw, unbridled, inherent evil, the kind that you can't get in a normal mortal creature, the kind that you would get only in an outsider. And the gray is mortality, and the decisions and choices and freedom that come with mortality at the limitations of being mortal.
Hey.
This is a creature that used to be evil incarnate, and then was broken and hobbled until it was a mortal person, and is now having to come to terms with that.
He's a reverse Faust.
She's a devil that was turned into a human.
Makes the dream make more sense now.
Nice.
Go the devil in disguise.
Not a devil that turned itself into a human. A devil that was turned into a human.
So what would she have detected from my end?
That you're also part demon.